Tinubu arrives in United Arab Emirates to participate in 2025 Abu Dhabi Sustainability Summit. ECOWAS condemns recent attacks in Republic of Benin, calls for enhanced security and cooperation in West African region. Nigerian Armed Forces celebrates resilience of fallen heroes and 7 officers with special prayers. Hello and welcome to the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. My name is Justin Bemunyi. Now, leaders from Nigeria and other African nations have endorsed the Kampala Declaration, introducing new strategies and measures aimed at enhancing food security across the continent. Musa Babali reports that Abubakar Kyari, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, represented President Bola Tinubu at the summit held in Kampala, Uganda.
Over the past 3 days, African leaders and agricultural development partners have engaged in discussions to assess the progress in implementing the Maputo Declaration 2013 to 2025. At the end of the deliberations, a new roadmap was adopted aimed at guiding the continent towards achieving food security. Under the Kampala Declaration, leaders are expected to boost investment in the agricultural sector, enhance sustainable agricultural practices, and create an enabling environment for youth to actively engage in the food production value chain.
It underscores our resolve to address emerging challenges, harness new opportunities, and build a resilient, inclusive, and prosperous agri-food system in Africa.
President Bola Tinubu, represented by Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar Kyari, stated that the 2026-2035 Comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program strategies align with Nigeria's agricultural development priorities and as outlined in the National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Policy. He noted that the implementation of the policy has already led to significant improvements in farm input support for smallholder farmers, enhanced mechanization, better livelihoods, and unprecedented growth in agriculture's contribution to national GDP. This progress further underscores Nigeria's commitment to achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. He emphasized Nigeria's dedication to cooperating with fellow African nations, development partners, and stakeholders to ensure the effective realization of the 2026-2035 strategies. Additionally, African leaders have endorsed the African Coffee Festival proposed by Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni. The festival is scheduled to take place from October 10 to 12, 2025 at the African Coffee Park in Kampala, Uganda. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Now, the Ministry of Livestock Development is to deepen partnership with its water resources counterpart in utilizing the huge water resources for livestock development. This came to the fore during a facility tour by the Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Meha, to Alu Dam in Borno State. Correspondent Yusuf Jika reports.
Is the center of Alu Dam here in Borno State, and the reason why I'm standing here is because of the destruction of the dam that occurred September 2024. The dam, which became a scary tale at the tail of last year's rainy season, wreaking havoc to lives and property in Maiduguri, is gradually being considered as a source of life for livestock development in Nigeria. This is to change the narrative of last season of farmers and fishermen like Musa within the fringes and banks of the Alu Dam through proper management of the basin.
If there is any help we need from government,
if we cultivate the use of large bodies of water of this nature, we can achieve a lot during the long dry spell in the north. Particularly, we can sweat our land resources, employ a lot of the youth that are today doing nothing for the 7 months of the dry spell, as well as create a lot of value. So I believe here that we'll discuss and have synergy to see to the best use of the excess water here that can benefit Maiduguri and the nation.
The minister and his entourage were hosted to a dinner by the governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Omarazulum, who appreciated the tour and promised to support the ministry in achieving its mandate. In Maiduguri, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Now, the Commission of the Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS Commission, has condemned recent attacks in northern Benin by unidentified armed men on Wednesday, 8th January 2025, which claimed dozens of lives. A statement by the regional bloc condones with the government, the security forces, and people of the Republic of Benin, particularly the families of the brave soldiers who lost their lives protecting their country. Equally, ECOWAS wishes for the speedy recovery of the injured. ECOWAS reaffirms its commitment to eradicating terrorism in West Africa, including through the ongoing operationalization of the counter-terrorism plan of action in all its forms. The statement urges all member states to intensify their cooperation in intelligence sharing and border security, and it expresses full solidarity with the government and people of Benin to ensure the safety and security of community citizens. Now, the Nigeria Immigration Service has expressed regret over the killing of a local watchman alongside 3 contractors on site at the Kangiwa border, Kangiwa local government area of Kebbi State on Friday, 10th January 2025 in a recent attack by suspected terrorists. In a statement, Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Kenneth Udo, indicates that although no immigration officer was killed during the attack, the service recorded substantial damages on its border facilities. The service expresses heartfelt condolences to families of the deceased while actively working alongside sister security agencies to identify those responsible for this crime and bring them to justice. Now, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has condemned the has commended the critical role of the Nigerian Air Force in counterinsurgency and counterterrorism operations across various theaters of operations in the country, while calling for renewed vigor in the year 2025. This was at the base social cultural activities to close the year 2024 at the NAF base in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello captured the moments.
Socio-cultural activities of the Nigerian Air Force is an offshoot of the West African social activities, an age-long military tradition inherited from generations far back to the era of the West African Frontier Force. From there, the tradition to organize social activity by units and formations to celebrate feats and successes recorded in the military formations started. Soldiers, clad in military uniforms, traded their usual duties for vibrant traditional attires from diverse ethnic groups, each showcasing their unique dance, music, and art. The military leadership emphasized that while they came from different tribes and distinct cultures, they were united by their common duty to protect and serve.
As we continue to face and overcome the challenges ahead, let us draw strength from our shared values and collective resolve. Together, we will build a safer, stronger, and more prosperous Nigeria.
In that brief moment, it was clear that diversity was their strength, and through these cultural exchanges, the unity of the armed forces was stronger than ever.
As we confront security challenges, including insurgency and criminality, we draw inspiration from the warrior ethos of our ancestors who defended their lands with courage and resilience.
As the sun set, the traditional beating of retreats was observed by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and lowering of flag, signifying the end of the Nigerian Air Force-based socio-cultural activities. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, says the sacrifices of the armed forces is not just for the present, but the foundation upon which Nigerians must build a nation worthy of their courage. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports that this was at the 2025 interdenominational church service held at the Ecumenical Center, Abuja.
The service brought together top brass of the armed forces and Christians from different denominations, standing side by side in reverence for Nigeria's fallen heroes. The church was filled with solemn music, while the voices of priests and pastors all leading prayers for the souls of the departed soldiers in collective gratitude for the sacrifices made by the nation's armed forces. The Senate President's voice echoed with a message of renewed hope.
United in our shared commitment to remember, pray for, and honor the courageous men, women of the Nigerian Armed Forces. That is why we say that all hope is not lost. We are still optimistic that Nigeria can come back from the brink.
These words ignited a wave of applause, filling the church with a renewed sense of optimism that their fallen heroes had not been forgotten and their armed forces were poised for a future of strength and resilience. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Now, Elizabeth Omori has a compilation of messages at different churches across the country as the nation celebrates the resilience and commitment of fallen heroes and serving officers.
We want to assure the armed forces that this government will continue to do its best to protect the life of our people.
Let us continue to work with them, give them information where it is necessary.
They have left widows and dependents for us to take care of. We need at all times for the nation and the state to ensure that these people are catered for.
Loving our communities, loving our state, and then loving our beloved nation. The difference will now become very clear.
We as a government are resolved and determined that we must overcome. And with you, fighting the war front, and we are determined to provide you with any and everything that we can afford to provide you to root out this criminals.
We come together not only to express our gratitude to the Almighty for His countless blessings, but also to commemorate and honor the brave men and women of the armed forces.
Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in the United Arab Emirates, UAE, to participate in the 2025 edition of Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week. The Nigerian 001 airplane landed at Zayed International Airport, Abu Dhabi, a few minutes past 4 local time this Sunday morning. He was received by the UAE Special Representative for Africa, Sheikh Shakbut bin Al Nahyan. In a statement, Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy Bayo Onanuga explained that President of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, invited President Tinubu to attend the summit, scheduled to take place in the Emirate from January 12 to 18. The summit is expected to bring together global leaders to accelerate sustainable development and advance socio-economic progress. The event, under the theme The Nexus of Next, Supercharging Sustainable Progress, is to enable policymakers, business and civil society leaders to explore pathways to fast-track the transformation to a sustainable economy and evolve a new era of prosperity for all. The presidential advisor also revealed that at the event, President Tinubu will stress his administration's reforms, including those related to energy sufficiency, transportation, public health, and economic development. The Nigerian leader and his entourage will also meet with the Emirates leadership to discuss issues of interest affecting the two nations. The president is scheduled to return to Nigeria on Thursday, January 16. You're watching the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. We now take a break. More reports when we return to stay with us.
The geography of Nigeria, but we're not a nation. A nation is a group of people with a shared vision.
In many states of the Federation, with a few exceptions, we have only 2 tiers of government. The local government is completely gone.
Insightful, thought-provoking, and engaging.
Those countries that we go to buy refined petroleum products, or technically what we call distillates, are we saying their economic and political leaders are fools?
What you see that is happening in the urban area is not happening in the rural area. There's no balance, there's no holistic or concerted approach to development.
Every development is local. Every underdevelopment is also local. I think what we need is to promote national development.
Good Morning Nigeria, the Nigerian Television Authority's flagship program, brings you all you need to know on current national issues that affect you. With expert analysis from professionals from all fields of endeavor, Good Morning Nigeria is your daily tonic of accurate, fact-based and intellectual discussions on issues that matter to you. Airing every weekday live between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. on the network service of the NTA. Repeat broadcasts at 5 p.m. daily on NTA News 24. Don't be left out. You can join us by tuning in to NTA News 24.
You're welcome back. Now, a truckload of skunks and a strain of cannabis has been intercepted by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, at an abandoned fuel station in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, for onward distribution to some states in northern Nigeria. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim reports.
Intelligence-led operation, which took place on Saturday, 11th January 2025, led to the seizure of not only the large illicit consignment, but also the trailer and 6 other vehicles, as well as the arrest of a suspect. In another raid in FCT, 2 suspects were arrested by NDLEA officers at Inyanya, where a combined 1.398 kilograms cocaine and a precursor substance used in preparing crack cocaine were recovered from them. No fewer than 20 wraps of cocaine weighing 330 grams have been removed from a cargo going to Australia at a logistics farm in Lagos. The cocaine parcel were concealed in face cream containers. A total of 338,200 bottles of codeine-based syrup worth more than 1 billion naira were intercepted in 2 containers watch-listed by the agency following intelligence surveillance at the Port Harcourt's port complex on River State. In Lagos, a traditional chief priest has been arrested by NDLEA operatives after over 3 months of manhunt of him. 2.760 kilograms skunk was recovered from him. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Now, the National Council on Climate Change Secretariat will in 2025 focus on amplifying nature-based climate solutions with the development, conservation and protection of Nigeria's mangroves, one of its action plans in an effort to address impact of climate change. Director General of the Secretariat, Nkiruka Madueke, laid out this year's work plan during a media parley in Abuja. And Charles Alpha reports.
Mangroves are one of the world's most threatened ecosystems, losing over 1 million hectares since 1996. Nigeria is adjudged to have the largest mangroves forest in Africa and rated 3rd largest in the world, covering approximately 5% of the global mangrove forest. At COP27 in Egypt, the United Nations and the Global Mangrove Alliance launched the Mangroves Breakthrough Initiative to mobilize $4 billion and protect 15 million hectares of mangroves by 2030. Keying into this initiative for Nigeria is vital, and acknowledging the important role mangroves play in mitigating impact of climate change. The Director General, National Council on Climate Change Secretariat, in her first media engagement this year, told reporters she was determined on leveraging the potential to serve as a hub for global climate finance through the carbon market for Nigeria, with a technical site visit to 9 states in the Niger Delta region. The visit, she said, will be to have an area assessment of the impacts of climate change on the mangroves, foster collaboration in driving reforestation and conservation.
The media is very key to developing this roadmap. One of the challenges that has been identified with regards to mangrove afforestation, conservation and protection is the absence of a strategy document, the absence of a policy document. Some
of the activities planned for 2025, she also said, include the Youth Climate Summit, tree planting as part of the Earth Day and Environmental Day, capacity building for MDAs on the climate change DEX operationalization, mangrove art exhibition, climate negotiators training, climate security summit, as well as the UNFCCC COP30 in Berlin. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Now, Kogi State government has flagged off the upgrade of 88 primary health care centers across the state. Jonathan Omajale reports that the event held at the Felele Primary Healthcare Center, Lokoja, marks a major step by Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo towards improving healthcare delivery across the 21 local government areas in the state.
The state governor, represented by the Commissioner for Health and a team of contractors, took time to inspect facilities at the Felele Primary Healthcare Center. At the end of inspection, it became clear that the facility urgently required an upgrade. Its state of dilapidation and lack of essential facilities have drastically reduced the number of patients seeking medical attention there.
Because of this, there's reduction in patients, clients coming here.
However, the situation is set to change within the next 4 months as Kogi State government embarks on upgrading of the center alongside 87 others across the state. The initiative complements the ongoing revitalization of 70 primary healthcare centers across the state. Backed by the World Bank support, the state government has allocated 7 billion naira to the project.
The ultimate aim is to ensure that every ward has at least one functional level 2 primary healthcare center. Functional level 2 means 24-hour service, alternative power supply, renewable one, solar you may call it, potable water, will have a borehole, security, which is perimeter fencing, the clinic building, and in addition to that, a residential building whereby some of the staff can reside within the hospital.
Community leaders commended the government for the initiative. In Lokoja, Jonathan Omajali, NTA News.
Now, this is the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. Here is a quick look at our major stories. President Tinubu arrives in United Arab Emirates to participate in 2025 Abu Dhabi Sustainability Summit. ECOWAS condemns recent attacks in the Republic of Benin, calls for enhanced security and cooperation in West Africa region. The Nigerian Armed Forces celebrates resilience of fallen heroes and serving officers with special prayers.
This is NTA News 24.
And this concludes the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Justin Bemu. You do have a good evening.